I went to an art gallery, sat on a bench, and wrote for an hour, half listening to a podcast, some guy who had just the best shit of his life, aged 62. The main wall of the gallery, a huge canvas showing an imaginary World War III, depicted as a democracy versus dictator rugby match, played to rugby values, the 80-minute engagement and outlet for outdated nationalistic passions, the battle intense, presided over by leaders too old, too reactionary, too dumb to participate, the players. Shaking hands at the end, repairing to the clubhouse bar to share drinks, stories, and build friendships. In a side room, an exhibition by a local artist who had painted a portrait of Hitler being punched in the face every day for 1,241 days, and then suddenly stopped the on-screen video interview showing him at odds to describe the inner compulsion that had driven him to it. The bouncer guy had written an autobiography and proclaimed it a cult book, but that was incorrect. The book wasn't the cult. He was. And I was looking back, try to lean into the absurdity of the whole thing. Men in martial arts outfits, titillated by violence, meeting in bookshops and training facilities to hear him speak. His books and articles and training videos mainly about punching other human beings unconscious before they would punch him, fleshed out with a first-person perspective of what it was like to do such a dangerous and unpleasant job in such a dangerous and unpleasant place. The cult members fascinated by his story, equal parts brave and reckless. Weren't humans supposed to have been socialized? To have evolved beyond this? The world plunged into war, conflict, and violence by mostly old men who knew their wealth and power would protect them from the consequences. Was violence sometimes, regrettably, necessary? Or was that a bullshit line uttered by leaders that knew inside their justifications were weak? Or was the fight impulse I had so often needed? If I had ever had it, who had trained me out of it? Who had taken it away? Listening to some guy teaching violent techniques in a leisure center was not any kind of answer. When I recall the guy, I don't see a man passing on help and knowledge. I see a guy addicted to attention, to being asked to talk about himself. All his stories were the same. In every story, he was the hero. Every story ended with him beating someone half to death.